Good morning. It's about 5:45 in the morning, and if I look tired, it's because I am. Last night was so hard to sleep. I went to bed around 9 o'clock or so, and I laid there until almost midnight before I was able to get to sleep. I think it's because it was warm, and so I had a fan on. I don't like fans. They're too loud. And also because it was warm, I didn't have my heavy blanket on. And I don't know why, but having a heavy blanket, it seems to be very calming for me. I'm finding out that that's actually kind of a security thing for a lot of people. But I also bunch that up, you know, and use it kind of like for a body pillow in a way that body pillows just don't work. So I barely slept, and I wanted to get up at 4:30, and I couldn't get out of the bed until almost 5. And normally I wouldn't be down here in the lab this early in the morning, but I'm working days right now, and I had a special request a long time ago from my mother. At Christmas time, she asked me to make some Dragon's Blood shampoo bars. And I only just recently got the fragrance oil for it because I was doing a business. I didn't see a point in making soap if I wasn't selling soap. So I just got the fragrance oil, and I've been trying to make time in the evenings or after work. It's not happening. I'm too tired, or I'm too busy, or the weekends. You know, I do things with Brock, and you know, we do things like fishing and camping and things like that. So no soap is getting made. So here it is. It is very early in the morning. I still haven't even finished my first cup of coffee. And I'm making some soap. So I've weighed everything out, and I'm ready to go. How about you? Let me go ahead and just pause this, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I've moved the camera, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to see pretty well what I'm doing here. So the first thing I need to do is mix my lye water together. So I have my lye in here. I have cold water in here. You always mix your lye into your water and not the other way around. And there's actually a very good, sensible reason for this. If you pour the water into the lye, it will solidify the top layer of the lye, and then it will superheat, and it'll volcano on you. And anybody who's familiar with Mount St. Helens knows volcano is not that thing you get when you pour vinegar in your cake, right? It can explode. So we don't want lye flying around. Now, I have not pre-melted my oils because I have seen so many people do this heat transfer method, and it's so warm that my solid oils are fairly soft. So I am going to pour the lye solution while it's still very hot into my oils. And I think that there's going to be enough heat from this that I'll be able to get my solid oils the rest of the way melted. Even my shea butter, which is usually pretty hard in the cool, was very soft. My coconut oil I scooped out like it was just nothing. I get a coconut oil blend, so it's pure coconut oil, but it's part hydrogenized, or yeah, hydrogenated. hydrogenated, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It's partially hydrogenated, and so instead of melting at 76 degrees, it gets me up into the 90s before it starts to melt, and it's not nearly that warm at 5:30 in the morning out here in the lab. So, actually I don't think it's gotten quite that hot at all out here in the lab. It still looked like it was exactly the same as I left it. So I have not been doing any soap making at all because of COVID-19, and I don't even like to say that word, COVID-19. All of my sales last year, most of my sales last year, were in person. And being a brand new business owner, it never occurred to me that I was supposed to be collecting email addresses while I was selling. So I have no online sales. Or I've had none in the past quarter anyway. In the past 30 days, I've had 5 views on my website. So, although I'm thinking that's going to pick up because I just joined a barter group, or I just put in my application for a barter group, and just paid for some advertising in a local paper called the Coffee News. You may have seen it because it's all over the country. They go in like restaurants, coffee shops, things like that, and they'll have a couple little stories about your local area, and then they'll have advertisements from people who are local to you. And they will only do one of any kind of company at a time in your local area. Oh my goodness. This is so good because it looks like just stirring this has come to emulsion. I'm still going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a zap, and then we'll add the fragrance oil. And this is a small batch. And if you're doing a small batch, I highly recommend that you measure in grams instead of ounces. Because when you're doing ounces, depending on your scale, it can be hard to get really good accuracy. Alright, so I had thought about adding a color, possibly adding a little bit of red to this. Dragon's Blood has a lot of vanilla in it, and so it will discolor to a kind of a brown color. I have in the past put colorant in my soaps. Especially my Dragon's Blood. I've done red and green swirl usually. But this is a shampoo, and in order to use enough, oh my goodness, it's getting lumpy. I don't like that. That has never happened to me with this fragrance oil before. Anyway, enough to get enough colorant to really make this red and green, like Dragon's Blood. Would have to use quite a bit of colorant. So I'm just going to leave it natural, and that way I don't have to use so much that it could damage a person's hair or leave traces in a person's hair. Usually the colorants don't. I use micas. I don't use like FD&C liquids for my soaps, so I just use micas, and they rinse out really well. It's so warm, it almost starting to look like Vaseline. That's it. We're just doing the 12 bars today. I don't know why I get quiet when I'm doing this. It doesn't really take a lot of thought to pour, right? So I've got 2 pounds of oils, and that, when you divide that by 12, not even counting the lye, because yeah, when you calculate the weight, you calculate the oils and the lye together, and then divide it by how many bars you get. And that's the weight of your soap. No need to weigh it today and then, you know, weigh it again in a couple of weeks and then weigh it again in a couple of weeks, because the weight of your oils is never going to change. So I got a little bit too much in this one, so we'll transfer it there. All right, tap it one more time, and that's it. So we have made 12 bars of Dragon's Blood shampoo. So a little note about my shampoo bars. You can see I basically just made soap. They have a lot of really good hair nourishing oils in them. But one thing about an actual soap instead of synthetic detergents is that, well, a couple of things. First of all, it is not color safe. If you have colored hair, please do not use one of my shampoo bars, because it will strip the color out of your hair. My daughter was kind enough to have tested that out for me, and fortunately she had some inexpensive at-home hair dye in her hair instead of really expensive salon dye, so it didn't cost her a lot, but the color came out of her hair. So if you have colored hair, please do not use my shampoo bars. Another thing to know is that because soap, no matter how you formulate it, is very alkaline, it will lift the cuticle of your hair. I had to do some research about this. And that will make it drier. So, and it'll make it less shiny. So if you use real soap for your hair, you want to condition it. At this time, I have a formula for conditioner bars. I have not made them because, like I said before, I have not done anything during this COVID thing except go to work and get myself outside. I went on vacation twice, you know, but not really around people, just family. So, I haven't been doing any sales. I haven't been making stuff. So you can either purchase a commercial conditioner, or if you don't want to do that, just half and half apple cider vinegar and water. It does not have to be the fancy organic stuff with the slime in the bottom. Please don't waste that on your hair. It's supposed to be for your gut. So apple cider vinegar and water. Just mix it up in a squirt bottle and apply it to your hair after you wash it. Rinse it right out. And if you want a little bit of fragrance with it, you know, you can add some essential oils or something, but remember that oil and water don't mix, so you'll have to shake it up every time you use it. But that's it. In 4 to 6 weeks, we will have Dragon's Blood shampoo bars.